Among the nations that have stepped onto the stage of modern history, the United States is a very special case. It is a country without a shared ancestry, without a common cultural origin, and without a long, unified history like the Eurasian empires. It was formed from white groups immigrating from Europe, black people forced to come from Africa, indigenous people pushed to the margins, and later Latin American and Asian immigrants. America was not built on a blood-based community but on something else, a constructed belief. And to sustain its existence, the U.S. had to create new symbolic myths, things that could substitute for national traditions to act as the glue binding over 300 million vastly different people together on the same land. From that came the superhero imagery in comics and films, which are not merely entertainment tools but also lessons in patriotism told in the language of the era. The ideology of preserving peace, democracy, and global freedom is not just a slogan, it is a form of soft power that helps the U.S. both maintain domestic unity and project influence on a global scale. Americans are taught that they are the good guys, and the world is persuaded that the U.S. always stands on the side of justice. In a world full of contradictions, perhaps the ability to create and control symbols is the very secret that allows America to always play the lead role in the global drama called the international order. Welcome to the hit Cell, where you'll find truths society doesn't want you to know. America and the dream built on symbols. When there's no shared ancestry, people need shared beliefs. When people think of old nations, they often think of elements like bloodline loyalty, thousands of years of historical continuity, and folk legends passed down through generations. These things help people within a territory bond, seeing one another as siblings, as one family, thereby creating social stability and sustainability. The Japanese have the Bushido spirit. The Chinese have Han cultural traditions. The Vietnamese have their legendary origin from the dragon and fairy. But the U.S., a country not even 300 years old, doesn't have these foundations. America is a melting pot, where people from all over the world come to build new lives. Americans might be white of English, Irish, Italian, or German descent, black of African descent, of Asian, Latin American, or indigenous roots. They don't share a common ancestor, language, religion, or cultural tradition. So what makes them willing to call each other compatriots? What makes them willing to live and die under the same flag? The answer lies in the fact that when a country lacks bloodline roots to unite its people, it must construct symbols to replace them. And Americans have done this very cleverly. Rather than digging into the past, they focused on building new values that could transcend skin color, language, and even history. Two of the greatest symbols America has created and continues to use are the image of the superhero and the ideology of global peace, democracy, and freedom. Superheroes as substitute ancestors. In other countries, children grow up with stories about national history, legends, and mythologies full of epic qualities. Japanese kids learn about the samurai spirit. Vietnamese kids have tales of St. John and the mountain and water spirits. Greek kids hear about the Olympian gods. But American kids, as soon as they can read, are exposed to Captain America, Superman, Batman, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. Later, they meet Black Panther, Shang-Chi, Wonder Woman, and more. These are not just comic book or film characters, they are spiritual symbols, idealized role models used by Americans to teach their children patriotism, responsibility, sacrifice. And most importantly, the role of being the good guy in the world. Captain America wasn't created by accident in 1941, it was right as the U.S. was preparing to enter World War II. A skinny guy who volunteers for his country, is given super serum, and becomes a hero fighting fascism was the message America wanted to send to its people. We're not just strong, we're good.